Well, all right, you guys, it is time for a very nostalgic and personally meaningful episode of Trail Camera Pickup. Today is Friday, the 4th of July, 2025. And that date is very meaningful because it marks the 10-year anniversary of me seeing my first ghost orchid down in the Fakahatchee Strand Preserve State Park on the 4th of July, 2015. So that date will always be very meaningful to me, kind of set me on the path as to why I do what I do and kind of made me who I am today as a photographer. Fast forward now 10 years, 4th of July 2025, and I'm standing here next to another ghost orchid flower. This is a plant that I found in 2018. I've been coming to it every year. I think it had a flower in 2018 and 2019, but it's kind of been dormant the last 3 or 4 years and hasn't had a flower, which is kind of what intrigues me about these things. They don't have a flower every year, and it takes years for them to get to this size and even have a flower. As you can see right here, we got a couple little baby ghost orchids that will be years before they have a flower and they get to this size right here. But it always amazes me to see those things come out of that spaghetti ball of roots on a tree. This is the first flower that I've seen in 2025. So just like that one back in 2015, the first one of the season, always stirs up something in me. See it hanging here at perfect height. I can get out the big boy camera, get a lot of good pictures and video. So this is the reason why I come down here and do what I do. The trail cameras are just a little bonus, being that I come down here so often, especially in the summer. Just having the trail cameras out here and just a little something extra to do. But I'm going to go ahead and get some pictures and video of that guy, and then we'll go get this trail camera. Well, I hate to do it, but we got to leave our first ghost orchid of 2025. It's a beauty. All right, I started this video off by saying that this was a nostalgic and personally meaningful episode of Trail Camera Pickup. And let's go back to the 4th of July 2015 when I saw that first ghost orchid down in the Fakahatchee Strand. That was also my first day in the swamp ever. I've been a wildlife photographer as a serious hobbyist since 2008, and like most wildlife photographers, I started off with just shooting birds because they're plentiful and pretty and they make good, photogenic targets. And I've been all around the state of Florida, from Everglades National Park up to Tallahassee and St. Mark's Wildlife Refuge and North Carolina. And 2015 came around and I think I had shot every bird species there was in North America. So what I was after and wanted to photograph was a Florida panther. So in doing your research about the Florida panther, the Fakahatchee Strand Preserve State Park is where they're photographed and seen the most. So I started doing my research and reading all I could about it. And you couldn't read an article about the Fakahatchee Strand without it mentioning panthers and ghost orchids. And at the time, I didn't know anything about ghost orchids or really any kind of flower. But the more I read about them and saw pictures of them and saw how unique they were, I got interested in them as well. So I knew I needed to get to the Fakahatchee Strand, and watching some YouTube videos, I saw some videos about geocaching. So July the 3rd, 2015, I drove down to the Fakahatchee Strand in hopes of going and finding the Journey to the Center geocache. So I'm here to do the Journey to the Center geocache. I'm about 0.5 miles from the parking area, but I can't get there because the road is pretty impassable, as you can see. Probably the dumbest thing I've ever done, but we'll see how it goes. This is my first geocache, but I want to get in there and see if I can find a ghost orchid. Looks like a good spot. So we'll see how it goes. I had a old GoPro Hero 3 strapped to my chest, and that was my first time ever making these types of videos. So set out to find that geocache. My first venture into the Fakahatchee Strand. Oh, and there's a nice water moccasin right there on the branch. Right on the log there. I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. Let's see what happens. I can see I probably need to take a break here for a second and put my camera away so I don't have something to grab every vine and branch through here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and just kind of go forward. I got 1.43 miles to go. I gotta sit down. This is brutal, but it's a lot of fun. This is the first thing I've eaten since I've been on the trail here. It's now 1:22. I'm 0.9 miles away from the Journey to the Center geocache. And if I left at 9 o'clock, and that's 4 hours now. So if I get to there, hopefully by 2 or a little more, a little later, that'll give me an opportunity to walk around a little bit and look for the ghost orchid while I came here. But I want to give myself at least a good 4 hours to get back to the car. So this is not going to be my ghost orchid excursion into the Fakahatchee, but once I get this first geocache under my belt, I think if you come out here and stop looking at the GPS, just get in an area where the ghost orchids might be, then you can really focus on that, not moving so fast, looking around more up in the trees. I'm sure I may have passed one or two already, but I know what I'm looking for. I've never seen one, so when I do, it's going to be quite special. So I still have 2 more days after this, so if I'm successful in getting this geocache done, I'll just chalk it up as to, okay, day 1 was just doing that, and then I have another day tomorrow. But then I'm thinking, as tough as this is, I've even thought about going back home tonight, but I think I'm gonna camp down in Chokoloskee tonight and probably stick it out one more day, and maybe tomorrow I'll focus only on my ghost orchid quest. So I'm gonna finish this granola bar here and take another drink of water, rest for a few more minutes, and then get back underway. But so far it's been exciting, definitely an adventure. I need to get out of here. 386 feet to go in this direction. It's hard picking up your feet anymore because when I stop and rest and I try to go again, I'm getting cramps almost every step. So definitely need some more water. Looked at every picture on the internet of a ghost orchid probably to really see what type of trees and habitat they like, and I know this is a good spot for them. "320 feet. 277. 242. 193. 125 feet to go. I know it's up in a tree, and it says you have to climb the tree to get it. I'm not sure that's going to be doable. But we'll see. Oh, I see it right there, straight ahead, hanging in that tree. Whew! Wow, this is a beautiful spot. There it is. Journey to the center of the Fakahatchee Strand geocache. I'd like to get some pictures of this area. It's beautiful. There's got to be one ghost orchid in here for me to find. I'm sure I'll have a lot more to say later, but for now, let's see what's in there and sign the log, celebrate a little bit, rest up, and then hopefully make it out of here before dark. The only bad thing, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I left at 9:30 and I still had to get back 5 miles before dark, and I didn't make it. It was dark by the time I got to my car in the Picayune Strand, and I had to spend the night in my car. All right, it's 4:32. I'm finally done messing around here at the geocache, and I'm ready to make it back to the car. I got 3.71 miles. Can't delay anymore. I'm really nervous that I'm not going to make it back before it gets dark, and I know that's not going to be good. Figured I got 4 hours of daylight at best. I will be back here. This was an amazing adventure. Beautiful spot. I'm definitely gonna stay on my ghost orchid quest. I know this is a good spot for them. I just wish I could enjoy it a little bit more, but right now I'm really stressed that I got to get back to the car in this direction. 3.7 miles, and I know what I have ahead of me because I've already been through it, and I know it's not going to be pleasant. I got a little more than a half a liter of water left. Starting to cramp when I step over these obstacles. I know I probably shouldn't do this, but I have to take a break. It is now 5:16, so I think I've only been walking for not even 40 minutes. 5:18, sunset was in 3 hours and probably 20 minutes by now. I got 2.99 miles to go, and looks like that direction over there. I think there's no question that adrenaline takes over at a point, because I'm just looking down at the track and motoring forward as best I can. Doesn't seem to, cramps don't seem to be as prevalent when doing that. I'm also, I know for sure, right near the area where I saw the bear. Yep, it's close. I could see the flag on the GPS here. I'm not too worried about that. So I need to head down that somewhat path here in a little bit, but I want to just enjoy a couple more minutes of sitting here, and got the camera bag off my back. That's what the camera's resting on now. That's a killer. I mean, this is definitely a doable adventure as long as you're just doing that, trying to do the pictures and everything at the same time, and getting the backpack snagged on the branches and the vines, and trying to carry this monstrous tripod around. Just way too much. I feel if I was just me and my water and the GPS, maybe a walking stick or something, that's probably, you know, something that I could do a little more easy. So I'll sit here a few more minutes and then I'll head that away. 7:25. I got 1.91 miles to go to get to the parking area, but only 0.86 miles to get to the maintained trail that I be home free when I get there. So 0.86 miles, 7:25. Sunset is at 8:21. So I got an hour to get to that point, and then I can probably walk to the parking area, and then I got a straight shot, about half a mile walk to my car. So it's probably going to be right at dark when I get there. We'll see. I'm going to try to keep going pretty fast here the rest of the way, at least to that spot. So hopefully I'll be back with you then. I made it to the road that I was looking for. I don't know how, but I did. 1.7 miles to go, and it's really dark. I know the camera makes it look brighter than it is. It's right at sunset. It's 8:22, which is sunset. Actually, it's 8:22 with sunset. It's 8:31 right now. I stopped just a couple times on the way back, but I mean, you just had to. I tried to stay on a track that would get me directly to this road the quickest, because I know from here there's no more obstacles. It's wide open. Still some high grass, but that's a welcome after what I've been through. I'm a little embarrassed at the situation. I mean, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I thought I started at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd get there, walk around a little bit, look around, and then get back through. But I had no idea that it was going to be that arduous and thick terrain. And the bugs never really bothered me, because I guess I kept going and I'm sweating like crazy, so they're not really landing on me and biting me, so that's good. But in all, it was a great day. I'm proud of myself for finding that geocache on my first attempt. I know the ghost orchid geocache is just as hard, if not harder. I've seen a lot of people commenting and pictures from there, so that's a multi-stage geocache where you got to go to one stage and you got a clue to get to the next stage. So just seeing what goes on out here with the, you know, you lose your mental focus a lot when you're just so drained and straining yourself. But I'm going to wrap this up just because I want to get at least to the parking area before dark. I got to walk past my water moccasin buddy, so hopefully he's full. Ate a big frog or something a little while ago. So I'll get to my car, definitely be dark by then. Maybe after I change my clothes and get rehydrated, put another battery in my GoPro and turn the light on and drive down Jane Scenic Drive at night. I'm sure a lot of people don't see that often because you're not supposed to be there at night. Hopefully I don't get in trouble, but who cares? At this point, I just want to get home in my shower and in my bed. So, whew. I'll see you guys next time. More prepared. Well, I made it out of there. It was the longest day of my life, I think. I've never been so exhausted and tired. Right now it's 10:20. I'm just gonna sleep in the car here tonight. Try to get a decent night's sleep. Hopefully. I'm so tired that I will be able to get some sleep. I don't know if I'm gonna get in the back seat or just recline here. I've never slept in the car before. Not sure what I'll do tomorrow. I can't see myself getting back in that water again, but maybe I'll feel differently after I wake up. And I mean, I want to find a ghost orchid so bad, but There's got to be an easier way. I can't see how very many people would make that trek out there just to find them. I know they hopefully might have some closer to Jane Scenic Drive than where I was today, but it sure was a beautiful spot. So I'm going to sign off for now and try to get some sleep, but hopefully we'll see you in the morning. Well, I made it through the night. It's now 6:30. I slept in the back seat last night and surprisingly got a good night's sleep. Not sure what I'm going to do today. I think I'm going to head back down Jane Scenic Drive early. I don't think there's any way I'm going back into those woods again today, at least. All my hiking clothes with pants, the shirts I had on yesterday were soaked, and I just don't even feel like putting them on. So I think I'm just going to wait until it gets a little brighter out so I can get out of here on these roads. There's just huge potholes and pieces of limestone rock sitting up, so I bottomed out a few times coming in here. This car, the bugs are getting in here bad. So I'm going to have a little bit more to eat. All the clothes I wore yesterday are up on the hood of the car. I know they're not going to be dry because it's so humid, but at least I didn't want them in this car last night. That would have been, the smell would have been horrible. But I'm going to put them in a plastic bag in the back and just make my way back Jane Scenic Drive slowly. It'll be awesome to see a panther or something, or my bear friend. He's out there somewhere. But all in all, it was a decent night, and I'm looking forward to getting out of here and having a good day, doing some photography, and getting home and having a good dinner tonight. So all in all, it was a great experience. And then the next day I was driving out Jane Scenic Drive at 7 in the morning and was just stopping at some of the gates to check some GPS coordinates. Oh God, there goes my transmission. Oil pan, gas tank, punctured. This morning early because I was getting worn out and wanted to get home. Got to talking to a couple of the guys that work in here, volunteer, and I was telling them my tale from the day before, and I don't know if he felt sorry for me or what, but he said, look, if you leave your GPS in the car, I can take you to a ghost orchid flower. And that's what I came here for, and I said that would be unbelievable, and I can't thank you enough. So I put the GPS in the car, got in his little four-wheeler, him and another guy, and he took me down one of the trails, I'm not going to say which, and walked me through the woods, and sure enough, there was a ghost orchid with 2 flowers on it. I was so happy. Those 2 days, July 3rd and the 4th of July 2015, well, days that I'll never forget, and I'm going to put together that video from 10 years ago and just let you guys see what I went through, and maybe you will get an understanding of why I am the way I am. Oh man, this is a pretty spot. All right, you guys, let's go get this camera and see what we get. All right, I promised myself I wouldn't stop again, but I have to on this one. This is one of my favorite ones right here. I've been coming to this one since 2017, and this one's had a flower almost every year, and it's always perfect. So I got to get some video of this guy. We got 303 feet to get to this camera. Some of you guys might recognize this spot. This is my go-to never let me down spot where I have the Browning Recon Force Advantage camera and my Browning solar panel combo. 82 feet. It's right up here on our right. If you guys watched any of my videos in the past, you'll definitely recognize this spot. There's the camera right here. Here's a little Melaleuca tree that the little bear tore up that one time. Oh man. Here is the camera. Everything looks good. Got the Browning solar panel there. The plug is still plugged in, so that tells me that no bear has been up here pulling it out, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get this thing open. Oh yeah. Alright, the mode. It's working. Sweet. I put this camera out on February the 1st, I think. And I've come in and checked it a couple times, and I know it got a lot of bears, some panthers, and some deer. There's a lot of bears. Oh, sweet. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera off, and we will take this SD card home, put them on the computer, and see what we get. Leave that camera there. I'll probably be back in a couple of months, but I do have some trail camera pickup videos for some other spots coming soon. Hey buddy, I'm just here to check on you. Give you a nice fresh SD card. Everything looks good. Alright, so far so good. The camera's been here for about 3 months. That was some pretty good action. That one bear was a monster, and to get a couple of daytime panthers is pretty cool. Today is Easter Sunday, April the 21st, I think. I'm going to come back and check you on Memorial Day. Good luck. Well, as always, this Browning camera just works. This is my last Browning Recon Force Advantage camera. I got it set up pretty high, so hopefully the bears won't kill it. I don't know if it's a combination of this is such a good spot, or this camera just works reliably every time. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here. Be back here sometime in June, and I know I got enough videos to put together a trail camera pickup. Good luck. A little Melaleuca tree that the little bear tore up that one time. Oh man. Here is the camera. Everything looks good. Got the Browning solar panel there. The plug is still plugged in, so that tells me that no bear's been up here pulling it out, so that's good. Well, as always, this spot was just super awesome. There's a lot of bear activity the last couple of weeks here, and I think it's interesting to see that February, March, April, you get those bucks in here with the velvet, and then by May and June, as antlers start to harden up, and July and August is when I get my best rut activity of the big bucks running through here, chasing the females. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this camera right here Look what I did. I moved it down low to hopefully get more of a straight on view of the animals. I had it up here so high because this is my last browning camera and I didn't want the bears to eat it. I'm gonna risk it, but I'm gonna put this camera down a little lower, see if we can get some better action. All right, I'll be back and check you in a couple of months. Whew. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that kind of nostalgic flashback video from my first day in the swamp back on the 4th of July 2015. I really enjoyed going through some of those old video clips from that day and seeing the ghost orchids that I saw today. Kind of tied everything together, and I am going to put together that video of those 2 days, July 3rd and 4th 2015. Those were 2 days that kind of got me on this path and kind of made me who I am today, doing all this crazy stuff. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I really enjoy reading all the comments that you guys leave me. That makes it all worthwhile. So I'll go ahead and come back another time or two. The end of ghost orchid season. All this water filled up so fast. So I'm not sure how many times I'll be back down here, but believe me, I will. All right, guys, thanks for watching.